it's not a requirement, but it's one of those things that I'm just like, oh, I didn't know that. Chris Hangry, I learned something new. I'm glad. I'm glad. I wish I I I cannot take credit for it. I learned it from Mrs. Ruby, food and drink streamer, who I believe learned it from somewhere else. So just passing it along. I am just a steward of this knowledge. Uh, I am not the originator. There's no new knowledge in the world like that. Okay, so what I'm doing now, we're prepping sandwiches. So for grilled cheese, I use mayonnaise on the outside of them because it makes them better. Um, the fat in the mayonnaise uh, sticks around for a little longer than the butter if you use butter. And I think that it gives it a little extra, just a little something extra, a little extra crispiness or whatever. So what I'm doing first is assembly. So I'm going to get both sides of these slathered with mayonnaise, for lack of a better term. And then we'll fill them, and then we'll melt them, then we'll fry them. So this is a multi-step process. But if you're making like, if you find yourself in a scenario where you have to make like 10 or more grilled cheese sandwiches, I would advocate to do the pre-prep, to do a pre-melt on all of them like I'm doing, because then it makes frying them quicker and easier, and you can make them ahead. You don't need to make them like as they are being asked for. So it's it's very convenient to do them ahead. That's all I'm saying. It's like if you need to fit nice, so the parchment paper, it's like if you need to fit it in loaf pans, turn the pan over and fold the corners over so you kind of make a basket. Yes, that will fit in the pan when you turn the pan over. Yeah, the crumbling will certainly help with that for sure. I'm making at least one extra grilled cheese because I think it'll be good in Calvin's lunch this week if he ends up going to school this week. I'm just hoping I don't get sick because I'm supposed to go somewhere this weekend with a friend of mine, and I don't want to get them sick, and I don't want to get the other people that are going to be there sick. But I can't control any of that. I'll just let it go. If it happens, it happens. All right, these are finished. Step one, done. Hellman's is hell yeah, and use the correct mayonnaise. I like Hellman's. I like Duke's too, to be fair. I enjoyed Duke's a lot. Hellman's was I buy the largest jar that I can get. Sometimes it's Hellman's, sometimes it's Duke's. I don't have I am not personally going to advocate for one over the other, but I will say I grew up with and am more familiar with Hellman's. Duke's was new to me as of like last year. I was like, oh, I didn't even know there was different mayonnaise. You know, like I, hello, I've lived on the East Coast my entire life, and Hellman's has been the only thing. And I saw Duke's and was like, what? Um, yes, looks good, but wow, that's a lot.